Welcome to Coder Conversations. This is Kevin.
This is TC.
Yeah, man, how's it been going?
Good, good for the most part. Started messing around with React at work. That's been a lot of fun. Just wrapping my head around like how that works and like because they Shopify ended up setting up their own project and stuff and just learning how all their components work and the props and stuff.
Mm,
It's been a lot of fun. Like delegating tasks. It almost feels like uh it almost feels like what I was doing after work. Like I'm bringing all that now to my current job, so
yeah,
that's been a lot of fun. Um, yeah, it's been good. It's been good though. Planning a trip to Honduras soon, probably the end
no,
of this month, beginning of August. Yeah,
yeah, it should be fun.
time for some vacation.
Yeah. I pretty much had a forced vacation because I put in my 2 weeks notice, and
Yeah.
it just let me go like a week into that. So
Oh,
I've been
really?
I've been off like this whole week, but it's I guess it's kind of needed for me. I haven't had a vacation in years because I've been on contract. So
Yeah.
this
Okay.
upcoming job is for this employee. I'll be an employee, so
Yeah.
that should be a lot better.
Right. Okay. Well, congrats, man. I didn't know they cut you out early though. That's kind of whack, but
Yeah, but I can't. I'm not mad. I guess the break was needed. I haven't. You know, I've been kind of making posts about being burnt out and this and that, and
yeah.
sometimes you just need to get away from just
Yeah.
code.
I understand. Sometimes you just gotta step away, you know? Like,
Yeah,
gotta, it's good to just take a break and not think about code, not be around it, not be glued to a screen. Yeah.
yeah. Man, did you hear about well, LinkedIn? They kind of posted an article said like the great days of tech workers with these high salaries, et cetera, it might be over.
Really?
Yeah, well, what do you think about that? You agree?
Uh, well, I mean, unless you hire, I guess the only way you'd have to, like, let's say you have a team of engineers, right? You have 7 engineers and they're all making 6 figures,
Yeah.
right? The only way I could see you or a company sort of lowering that pay is if they bring on more people. Like they'd have
Hmm.
to make up for that, right? Like, okay, you replace a senior engineer who's making 6 figures with two mid-level or junior engineers who who you're gonna pay 5 figures each, right? So you could do that, but then the quality of work is gonna go down, right?
Yeah.
And I don't believe that's a smart move. I mean, maybe with like with this, the economy doing what it's doing, possibly, because I'm seeing like GameStop is doing layoffs, Twitter did some layoffs,
Mhm.
and who else? I think Twitter was the only one I noticed today, but a lot of FANG companies have been doing layoffs.
Yeah.
So
Netflix, all of them.
yeah, um,
Yeah, I think it's like now is not really the time to play hardball with salary negotiations because it's like a bunch of
yeah,
FANG engineers hitting the market. So
yeah. Take what you can get.
yeah,
Yep. Just to keep a roof over your head, just kind of take what you can get, and don't uh, and save. Save
yeah.
for against emergencies.
I
Because
think everything is like cyclical. Like like now is not a good time to negotiate, but when the economy recovers,
right,
companies start ramping up, then you can start pushing hard on the salary. But
right.
I
How long
think
do you think
now,
that'll take?
I think we're going to go down for a couple of years, man. I just don't really like the direction of the economy. Like
Yeah,
I think companies got too greedy. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah. Uh, I
Yeah,
could see that. I could see that.
because
And even now, the companies are still kind of greedy. Like groceries are still
mhm,
kind of high, and gas isn't as bad as it was going.
yeah,
It's dialed back a little bit, but it's still up there. Yeah,
Like you know, they haven't really been increasing salaries that much. So, but they've been shooting up those prices. So, you know, eventually it's going to catch up to them because that
yeah,
means that people have less money to, you know, buy the goods because everything costs
yeah.
more. So,
Dang, yeah, I never thought about that. You know, you have a client, the client needs to pay for the project to get done, but the their money is tight, and then they might put
mhm.
halt on projects and stuff like that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
man,
crazy.
we're in for some tough times, man. So, you know, I think people need to get creative, man. Like, you know, maybe get a roommate, uh, you know, find creative ways to, you know, just save
Make
money.
side money. Yeah,
Yeah,
save
get
money
it,
and
make
make
side
side
money
money
too.
too.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Totally agree. And then some of these fan companies, from what I'm seeing, like Netflix doesn't want to hear about their feedback anymore. Apparently, Netflix has this like open communication, not open communication, but like I guess for lack of better words, they have open communication with like higher ups and employees, and then you're able to sort of discuss like topics. And I think they're not really they're not really hearing it anymore. Like, they're tired of the backlash that they've got with their employees and the
Mm.
culture and stuff. So it's like,
You know,
um,
with all the FANG layoffs, what do you think? Like, they might not be the go to companies anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
yeah,
like and I think I'll join this company over here instead of like reaching for a FANG.
yeah. I mean, if that's your style, because I know some people that like love that those top tier tech companies, like they
Mm.
love that environment, they love that uh, just sort of not having to think about where they want to go next. It's all just listed out for them. All right,
Yeah.
I'm working at Facebook for a year. I'm gonna switch over to Google, then I'll go to Netflix, then I'll go to Amazon, and then I'll go back to Facebook. Like they stay within this pool
Mm.
of work, right?
Yeah.
Instead of having to like apply to these one-off places or startups. Um, yeah, I think some people enjoy that, but then other people are just like, just take what I can get, whatever it is.
Mm.
It's ASP, I'll do ASP. If it's WordPress, I'll do WordPress. Like
Yeah.
at this point, it's not a matter of like what. It's just give me a
Mm.
job, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's gonna be a lot less choice now because, like, you know, with all them layoffs, there's a ton of qualified people like gonna be fighting over the same jobs.
yeah.
And they say like
You-
it might be like even more rounds of interviews. Like if you can imagine that.
I mean, some places already do like 4 to 5. Like, if you're gonna do
Mm.
even more rounds of interviews, I get it. You want to filter out, who like you want to really get they call it a pulse. They want to get the pulse on they're
Mm.
looking for something for a certain candidate, and I get it. But man, nobody has time for 5, 6,
Yeah.
7 interviews. No, like people need to they need food, they need rent, they need to pay bills. Like no one has time to do all that other stuff, man.
And plus, I see that as like, you know, extremely expensive for the company. You got to take some engineer off a project and have them just like, you know, spin rounds with all of these different people,
Yeah,
round after round. So,
yeah. That's the scary part, right? It's like I've heard stories of people talking to engineers and they say, "What do you like about the company?" He's like, "I don't. Like, right now, we're not in a really good place." And it's like, wow, like that's the level of morale that you're gonna bring to the like as a first impression to somebody that wants to join the
mm,
company. It's a bad, that's a bad first impression. I wouldn't want to join that company if the first impression is like don't work here. Like I hate it.
so
Um,
like, what are some questions you ask to kind of determine like, is this a company you want to join? Do you ask like, hey, do y'all have high turn, or do you research that? Like, do they have high turnover? Or
I used to do Glassdoor for a while,
mm,
just to see what the like the current reviews are like. But then I've learned that like people can like delete bad reviews and only keep good
mm,
reviews on and stuff. Um, and even still, like even if you read a bunch of good reviews, the only way you're really gonna know if you vibe with that company is if you've worked with them like for a week or whatever. Like you need to work with these people. They need to be you need to be in that environment, be around your coworkers. Like, do you click
Mm.
with those coworkers? And it's kind of sucks, but that's the only way you really know if you're gonna last. You know?
Yeah, yeah, you got to actually experience it yourself to some extent.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
what is something that will keep you at a company for say like 5 years?
Uh, I'd have to have interest in the product, like like like
Mm.
really intense interest, right? Because if the sandbox stays the same for after a while, and there's no big changes, it kind of becomes dull, right? So I would say there has to be like constant stimulation in new areas, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like uh, the I think like for me like with Pillar, it's like a lot of it is shiny and new, and it's different than just working in Shopify. Like
Right.
I feel like I really have a strong understanding of the Shopify framework, and a part of me is like oh okay I have these two tickets for Pillar. Okay, then I also have to do this on Shopify. Like I can knock out what I have to do in Shopify like with my eyes closed almost.
Yeah.
Uh, and I'm eager to get back to the React, to the TypeScript, to all the stuff that I don't necessarily know how to do. So I think fresh projects every once in a while will keep me sort of interested.
Mm.
And that was a problem that I had, was like not really keeping up like personally not keeping up with new tech until recently. I feel like if I kept up with new tech and just played around with it, I probably wouldn't have reached those low points like
Mm.
in my career so far. I don't know if you've experienced that before. Have you?
Like keeping up with tech and kind of getting to a low point. Or,
Yeah, like just kind of feeling like you're doing the same thing every day. Like you always mention, oh, all I do is build CRUD applications. That's all it is, just CRUD, CRUD,
yeah.
CRUD, and I'm
So
kind of
like
bored
with
of it.
me, it's yeah, you kind of I've been doing CRUD applications, but a lot of them have been different. So
Yeah,
I think I'm kind of getting bored of doing like the CRUD application part. Not that I'm doing the same thing over and over, as in like making the same type of application, but it's more
yeah,
so that it's just like like typical web pages stuff. Like games. I think would be a huge shift that would be interesting to me.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But I've been, blessed enough to have been like on brand new, like tons of new projects, like built from the ground up. So they're interesting, but again, it's kind of like another CRUD application. It's not like, wow, this is super interactive, super different. You know what I
right,
mean?
yeah,
I think what will keep me at a company is, I need to see some kind of progress. Like I don't want to be at the same company like, and then 3 years later, I'm still, in the exact same title, exact
right,
same role, no kind of progress. Like
yeah,
I think, I need that thing, like with video games, you need to like level up. You need that something that says, okay, you're at the next level. You know what I mean?
right, yeah. It's like you want to feel like you're progressing, you're going somewhere.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, and do you feel like you're progressing with this new role? Like what's the difference between what you've been doing so far and
Mm.
where you're going to?
Well, yeah, what I've been doing at this previous job, kind of like a front end lead at this new job. I guess like, well, this is a massive company that I'm going to,
Hmm.
Broadcom. They bought out Symantec and VMware,
Yeah,
so I'm going over there as like a senior engineer. So title wise is a step back, but salary wise and benefits wise, and stock options and all that, it's a huge step forward. So
right.
in terms of what I'm actually be doing, I'm gonna be doing Angular again, but this time with Electron and then like Node.js on the back end. So
Okay, nice.
yeah, so
That's
it'll
cool.
be interesting, man. But I think I'm also gonna be going into the office. So Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I love remote, but I think it's time for me to kind of move around a little bit, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
did you ever get the itch to go back into the office?
I got the itch to, yeah, like early on, like maybe the first year of the pandemic, it was I felt very claustrophobic back when I was in my studio apartment, because I was always there. And the only time I went out was to get groceries, and that wasn't really a travel. You
Mm-hmm.
know, where I live, there's a grocery store like a block away or around the corner, and I can go get groceries, come back home. But I never really branched out, and yeah, no, I really, I mean, now I'm more social than I was, before, but I sort
Yeah,
of prevented myself from being social, and that really gave me that itch to like get out there, like talk to people, because without it, yeah, I
like
don't know, I drive myself up a wall.
like when you work, are you working from home or do you kind of gotta go to like one of them office spaces type of
Like WeWork,
uh, was it?
like a WeWork place, like
Yeah, like how different companies they kind of offer office space, like
yeah.
yeah.
Well, right now, like I have a pretty good setup with working from home. Like I don't
Mm,
mind that. Uh, I kind of don't like the um I like familiar environments.
oh,
I don't like the WeWork environment because there's a lot of hustle and bustle. Like there's a
mm,
lot of people coming in and out, and that can be pretty distracting.
yeah,
And like I've tried working at coffee shops, and it's okay. But again, there's still that distraction of that hustle and bustle, like people coming in and out, and like I look
yeah,
up, like I get pulled out of the matrix or whatever, and I have to like try to refocus, and so it's tough, in my opinion. It's pretty tough.
yeah. I've never worked at a coffee shop before. Like, do they just let you stay there for like 8 hours
As
or?
long as you buy coffee, yeah.
Oh, okay. Like,
So
would you
like,
gotta buy like one every 4 hours or something?
no. As long as so I remember Ginny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So we would go to Starbucks, and we'd go and we buy, this big like tall thing of coffee or whatever, and then
Oh,
just
okay.
sort of just sit there and just pull it all nighter, and
Mm,
just be there all night. And people, a lot of different people would show up: med students, law students,
mm,
um, the occasional homeless person or whatever. But we would
yeah,
all just sort of we have a study session. I mean, it was like an unorganized study session or unintentional, but it was a study session.
everybody just kind of congregate over there. Like, do
Yeah,
you ever miss those days or?
I kind of do. I kind of do.
Mm,
Like, I really miss like having that feeling of camaraderie that you're all working
yeah,
towards a goal. It might not be the same goal, but you guys are all grinding, and you guys all like have your own little end goals, and you guys are all focused on studying and stuff. I do miss that. I do miss that. I've tried doing that, like on Discord, like have a video call, but the
mm,
video call is muted, and
yeah,
so but you see other people sort of studying and stuff, and that kind of works. Um, but yeah, like to physically be in the presence of somebody, like you can't emulate that.
yeah, yeah. As much as you want to try, man, it's almost like say like you going on vacation to the Honduras and
Yeah.
experiencing that versus watching a video on YouTube. It's like,
Oh no. It's not the same thing. Like a video could do only so much, right? But to go out there and it be sunny 1 second and then the rain just starts pouring down, and
mm,
to see all of the trees and vegetation, and to have a cow walk across the street, like it's
right.
just like, experiencing it is completely different. So
Yeah, you get like a different feeling. Yeah. So
yeah,
I think, in a way, like as much as we love remote work, as long as your drive isn't too long, there's something to be said about, occasionally meeting up with people and
yeah,
seeing them in person.
yeah, yeah, definitely. You want to know who you're working with. I think
Yeah.
working in person gives you a better vibe. Like it gives you a better pulse of who, like you get a better understanding of who you're working with versus
Mhm.
just text on a screen or
Yeah.
voice on a voice call. Yeah,
I believe the friendships are stronger too because it's
Of
like
course.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
but
It,
I don't think I would mind a hybrid approach. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
go in like 2 days or maybe three at max, and then work from
Right.
home the other
Yeah.
two.
That ain't bad either. It's just I think with LA, it's that commute, man. That
Yeah.
commute is killer. Like going anywhere is just such a pain, and it's so much more convenient to just work from home, especially now that everybody sort of has a setup.
Hmm.
Like there was all those loans and stuff that were put out there, and now like I've got this setup at home, and it works for me. Like
Yeah.
I would essentially have to recreate the setup at my office uh,
Mhm.
to do the same thing, and it's like, could I? Sure. Like, do I want to? Like, not really.
Right. So like how do you usually like get out, after work? Like how do you stay social?
So in the morning, I'm very social with like maybe not my neighbors, not so much because I don't really see them. But I'll say good
Mm.
morning if I ever do come across somebody. Say good morning. Ask them how they're doing. Have a good day. Like little things like that.
Mm.
I call myself an introvert. I've been practicing being more extrovert lately, and I feel like it's working. I don't know if there's a middle between the two, but I feel like I'm
Yeah.
more extroverted in some cases than I am introverted.
Right.
Slowly working to just be completely extrovert, but talk to people whenever you can. Cashier, say, have a good day. How you doing?
Yeah.
And then sometimes I get funny interactions with people, right? Like
Mm.
the other day, like this the cashier was just like had a really bad attitude, and I'm thinking to myself like, man, it can't be that serious. Like whatever's going on, like you can't be that mad, right? And just like she just sounded like, hi, how are you doing? Oh, good. Okay, your total is $13.50. I'm like, man,
Mhm.
whatever's going on, like it's okay. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna have a good day. Don't worry. And she's like, yeah,
Mhm.
thanks. So yeah, you just little interactions like that kind of make me like it makes my day less mundane and less of like,
Mm.
oh, okay, what I do today? I solved two Jira tickets. I made dinner. I watched Futurama. I went to bed.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you know?
Yeah. Something I like to do is just drive around the city, especially at night. Like I'm not technically interacting with people.
Mm,
I just love seeing like like different areas of the city, and when
yeah,
there's hardly any traffic on the road. I'm just kind of like making sure I'm not parked at the house all day.
yeah. I used to do that. I used to drive to not drive around the city, but I used to drive to the beach. Just
Okay.
there was a road that stretches across the beach. And I would just park there and just sit
Mm.
and just look at like the sunset, or like if it's at night, just sort of sit and just chill. Um, just clear my head. I haven't done that in a while. Actually, sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. 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 Fortunately, we don't have beaches here. It's kind of like more like concrete jungle.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean that's what. If I was to compare like the beaches of Honduras and like the city of Honduras versus LA, LA would be concrete jungle, and
Yeah.
like Honduras would just be nothing but green. I mean, nothing but just trees
Mm.
and plants and animals and just it's
Like,
it's
could,
total
could you
opposites.
could you see yourself like just staying out there for like maybe a month and just
Um,
remotely?
I've thought about it. I've considered it. Um,
Mm.
because we're right now they're only Honduras is only 1 hour ahead of the U of PST.
Okay.
So
So
the
yeah.
time difference is not too bad. I would just need to adjust like how I sleep and make
Mm.
sure that I'm able to do it. Like I don't want to be tied to a PC all day, but I need to be comfortable with like tasks and stuff and be
Yeah.
able to like know that I'm able to perform.
How's the
So
internet connection over there? Is it like stable enough to do work?
yeah, I mean it's stable enough to stream. So, I
Okay.
feel like if you can stream Disney Plus and,
Yeah.
and be on your phone and stuff, it's not bad. It's not like third world internet.
Okay.
It's
So
no fiber optic, but it's good.
okay. So
Yeah.
some places the internet's always cutting in and out, and it's not stable. You
Yeah.
need to be on
Uh,
working.
I don't think it cuts in and out, but it's,
Okay.
it's not bad. Honestly, it's not a bad internet connection.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
might be a good move, man. Just experience, something other than what you do every day.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. That'd be a good change of pace. It's just I'd have to have like a makeshift office, and like that would be
Mhm.
my office for the next like 8 hours or whatever, or 7 hours, right? Because I don't want to, my whole thing is like when I'm here, when I'm in my office space here, I'm here.
Mhm.
There's no there's no like I'm not leaving my house and going for a drive and then coming back and have like
Right.
Slack messages. Like, so I gotta see how that would work.
Okay.
It's a good idea. Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, man, yeah, it'll be interesting going back into work, man. It's been years since I actually went back into the office, so
how far
kind of
is
look.
it?
It's like it's like about 20 minutes.
Okay. You're not gonna know anybody there then. You're just gonna be the
But
first day. You're not gonna know anybody, right?
no, 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 no. So yeah, I got to kind of do that whole process over again. But I think I don't mind because at the job that I was at,
Yeah.
they letting like everybody go anyway. So you
Mm.
know,
Anybody that you know personally? I mean, not personally, but
uh,
anybody that you know.
it's uh, well, the people that was on my team, they were
Yeah.
being let go. So our team was at one point like 12 developers, 13, 14, or something like that. But
Yeah.
now they're down to like three or four.
Dang.
So yeah,
That's
they
like
really, yeah, they chopped that team up.
that's like 70%. That's
Yeah,
that's a big number.
yeah, and that
Wow.
was kind of like over months. So as I started seeing the writing on the wall, I'm like, I think.
Yeah.
Plus, the mortgage industry, all this is unstable. So yeah, let me get out of
Right.
here.
No. Dang. That's crazy.
Like this
Dang.
company, Broadcom, they're kind of like a big technological company. I think you do like semiconductors and all of that kind of stuff. So
Uh huh.
there's like some level of stability there compared to mortgages because
Wow.
it's like a chip shortage and all of that. So I don't know if they directly have a hand in making those kind of chips, but
Right.
you know, I'm thinking they should have at least some level of stability.
Right. Okay. All right. Dang. 70, 80%. Man, I just hope that we bounce back soon. I don't know if
Yeah,
I could do the 2008 recession. That was what, 4 years? That felt like a really long time. Like it was like 2 to 4 years of just a lull. I gotta ask my mom how long it lasted for. 'Cause I was in school at the time. I didn't really know. But man,
yeah. Yeah. I was kind of like I think I was just like working at the hotel or whatever, and I might have been I don't know if I graduated then, but yeah, man, it's crazy, man. But I kind of think this one's gonna last like quite a while, just due to the me analyzing all the stuff that's going on because
yeah,
we've never had like record inflation, record gas prices, record housing prices. You know what
record
I mean?
everything. Yeah, yeah. No, that changes the game.
Like it's crazy when people that's making six figures. Like I talked to a lot of guys in tech, none of them say
Yeah,
they can buy a house. Like if guys is making six figures can't
and they
really
can't buy a
survive.
house.
Yeah, it's like what's going on with this economy?
Yeah, everything's
Like
topsy turvy.
who's buying these houses? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
Maybe
it's like oh, go ahead.
maybe the banks are buying them themselves to make it look like they're being sold.
Probably like institutional investors that want to rent
Yep,
it out, whatever.
exactly. Yep.
I think
Maybe.
that's the way the economy's headed. Like, they own everything and they just rent it out to you. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. That's crazy. That's
Man.
crazy.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be looking for new ways to generate income, man. Cause
Yeah. Same here. Same here. I gotta come up with something
yeah,
because right now everybody needs a side hustle. If you haven't got one, think of one or start thinking of one and put the time in.
do you think it's gonna be programming related, or maybe like something completely different to take your mind off?
I might do something completely different. Take my mind off of things. I don't want to burn myself out doing programming because then you start to despise it, right? It becomes something that you don't enjoy.
But I'm hoping like this podcast takes off eventually.
I think it will. I think it
Yeah,
will. I think I saw 7 views the other day. Like 7
yeah.
views. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's nice.
You're making
Yeah,
progress at least. I think we
that's
were starting
progress.
to break into the YouTube algorithm because
I think
I've
so.
seen our videos in like my feed, but for my other username.
Nice.
Like, have you seen any of our videos pop up in your feed?
I haven't yet. I haven't
Okay.
yet. You know, I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, I think we just need to step our thumbnail game up and our titles too,
Yeah,
man.
everything. This is just slowly just increment, and then eventually it'll jump off. Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I like where this is going. I'm not gonna lie. At first, I was like, it'll it'll do what it's gonna do. But then now it's like, okay, maybe we got something here. Like I like that we keep having like different guests on. That's always fun. And we'll figure out like the format and everything, and just sort of incrementally improve it. I think it's. I'm excited to see where it's gonna be in 6 months. Oh, Kevin got disconnected. All right. I can't reach. Mm, I hate to leave like this. All right, people. I don't know if Kevin's coming back or not, but I gotta get going. So peace out.